Hello.
All right, there we go. Mr. Walker, I have just let everybody else know that, welcome, Dr. Littlefield. I have just let everybody else know that I have just hit the record button on this, but again, if at any point anyone's uncomfortable with that, you just need to let me know offline and we can destroy the recording, okay? So it's a matter of personal preference on that. All right, so we will go ahead and get the ball rolling here. Do I have all of my actors? Since I can't see you guys, I want to double check. You all there and ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
I got y'all. All right, nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go dark here so I'm not a distraction for anybody. And everybody, welcome again so much and enjoy the show.
Greetings from Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lux Radio Theater brings you The Shop Around the Corner. And here's the greeting for the podcast. The firm of Muttershack and Company, Novelties and Leather Goods, has been doing business in the same location for 35 years. It's not a large store, nor is it small. Its merchandise is not cheap, nor is it expensive. It's just an ordinary everyday shop, and its clerks are just ordinary everyday people. At 8:55 each morning, they stand behind the counters, dusting the goods and gossiping. At 9 sharp, they snap quickly to attention as Mr. Muttershack enters the front door and in a ringing voice delivers his first orders of the day.
Joey?
Yes, Mr. Matashek?
Joey, run across the street and get me some bicarbonate of soda.
Yes, Mr. Matashek.
Good morning, Lily.
Good morning, Mr. Muttershack.
Good morning, Miss Baker.
Morning, Mr. Muttershack.
Good morning, Mr. Peters.
Good morning, Mr. Matashek.
Good morning, Mr. Harvey.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Matashek.
Good morning, Mr. Martin.
Morning, sir.
Mr. Martin, I'd like to see you in a few minutes on a very important matter.
Yes, sir. Anytime you say.
Well, Martin, it won't be long now.
What do you mean?
Well, I hear you had dinner with Mr. Matashek and his wife last night.
Oh, that. Yeah.
And now this morning, he wants to see you about something important. You will be a manager pretty soon.
Oh, I don't know. Say, Peters?
Hmm?
Want to hear something nice?
Huh. You're not a manager yet?
Oh, no. It's a letter from a girl.
Oh, a girl.
Yeah, listen to this. My heart was trembling as I walked into the post office, and there you were, lying in box 237. I took you out of your envelope and read you right there. Oh, my dear friend.
What is all this?
Well, you see, I was looking through the ads in the Sunday paper and I ran across one that said, here, let me show it to you. See?
Modern girl wishes to correspond on cultural subjects anonymously with intelligent, sympathetic young man.
That's me.
Address, dear friend, box 237. Oh, I know these ads. The papers are full of them. How long has this been going on?
Well, we've exchanged 4 letters. And Peters, she's no ordinary girl. Listen, here on page 8, she says, oh, here. Are you tall or short? Are your eyes brown or blue? Don't tell me. What does it matter, so long as our minds meet?
Oh, you're right. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And she says, there are so many great and beautiful things to discuss in this world of ours. It would be wasting these precious moments if we told each other the vulgar details of how we earn our daily bread. I agree with you when you say, or she means me. What are men and women but to rise above the stupid necessities of the 8-hour day?
Mm-hmm. You said that?
Sure, you see.
Martin?
Yes, Mr. Matashek?
Martin, can I get 5 dozen more of those cigarette boxes from the Nickel Brothers? What do you think of it? I think it's great. You see, you open it up like this.
Oh no, Mr. Milkshake, that's not for us.
You haven't even listened to it. It plays Ochi Chiorne.
Well, even if it played Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, I'd still say no. I don't like the whole idea.
It's wonderful how quickly you can make up your mind. I've been in this business for 35 years, and it took me a whole hour to decide that I like it. But I guess you're a genius. Harvey?
Yes, Mr. Matashek.
Listen, what do you think of this? Look. Now, I want your honest opinion. Don't let me influence you. Hear that? A very popular classic. Well, Miss Baker?
I think people who smoke cigarettes and who love to hear Ochi Terrain will like it.
Harvey, what do you think?
I'd go even further. I think it'll make music lovers out of cigarette smokers and cigarette smokers out of music lovers. I think it's sensational.
Well, Mr. Martin?
I still think it's terrible.
Give me one reason.
All right. Let's say a man smokes 20 cigarettes a day. So he opens the box 20 times, and 20 times he has to listen to Ochi Chiorne. And besides that, it's imitation leather and cheap glue. In 2 weeks, the whole thing will come apart, and all you have left is Ochi Chiorne.
I know it. I know it's imitation leather. You don't have to tell me. You just sell the thing and let me do the buying.
Excuse me, Mr. Matashek, Nicholas brothers are on the phone.
I'll take it here.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Nichols? This is Matashek. Matashek, cancel the rest of those cigarette boxes. They're terrible.
Well, good morning, madame.
Good morning.
Anything I can do for you? We're having a sale on purses today.
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't want to buy anything.
No, well, that's perfectly all right. If you want to look around, just make yourself at home.
Thank you. I wonder if I could see Mr. Matashek?
Well, Mr. Mashek's very busy at the moment. If you tell me what you wanted, I'm sure I could take care of you.
Well, I noticed in the window that you're having a summer sale.
Oh, yes, madame. Everything is reduced 25%.
Really? Well, that's wonderful. I guess you'll do a big business.
Oh, there's no question about it. We'll probably have such a big rush we won't be able to take care of the customers.
Then you ought to have some extra help.
Oh, we probably will.
In that case, maybe you can use me. I'm looking for a job.
You? What's the idea of letting me go through this whole routine,
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to. Do you think you could help me get a job here?
Now listen, if it were up to me, I'd put you to work. But I'm not the boss, so...
Then why don't you let me see him?
Because he's in a very bad mood today.
I'll take a chance. Maybe I can cheer him up.
Now listen, madame, I've been here 9 years. I know Mr. Matashek inside and out. I know exactly what his attitude would be. I can tell you word for word exactly what he'd say.
Mr. Martin, come here.
Now you see what you've done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Martin?
Yeah, coming, Mr. Matashek.
So, Mr. Martin, you know every reaction of mine, eh? You know exactly what I think even before I think it. You're not only a genius, you're a mind reader.
But, Mr. Matashek.
Never mind now, I'll take care of this customer.
But, Mr. Matashek.
Quiet. Good morning, madam. I'm Mr. Matashek.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Matashek.
Please have a seat.
Thank you, Mr. Matashek. I was at Blake & Company.
I'm sure you'll find much nicer things in our shop.
No, I mean I worked there. I'm looking for a job.
A job? You mean... Oh, no. That's impossible. It's out of the question. Good day.
Oh, but Mr. Matashek.
I have no time. I'm very busy.
Mr. Matashek, please, I've got to have a job. And I'm good. I know merchandise. Really, I do. Please, just give me a chance.
Oh, so you know merchandise. Let me ask you something. Would you buy a box like this? Well?
Well, I couldn't buy anything at the moment.
No. I just wanted your opinion. Your honest opinion. Do you like it?
Oh, yes, I do. It's marvelous.
Why?
I think it's romantic.
Romantic? What's romantic about it?
Well, cigarettes and music. I don't know. It makes me think of moonlight and cigarettes and music.
There, Martin. That's the woman's point of view.
But Mr. Matashek, she...
How much are you selling it for?
Well, I'd say $4.25.
That's a bargain. That's a real bargain.
Oh, that's a candy box, isn't it?
No, madam, it's a...
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. That's a candy box, and I would say a very unusual one.
Yes, I like it. How much is it?
Watch, madame. It has a very distinctive feature. You see?
Coming out of...
Yes, madam, yes. It's Ochi Chirone, a very popular classic.
Oh no, that'll never do. Where do people get ideas like this? Can you imagine? Every time you take a piece of candy, you have to listen to that song? Oh no.
Oh, no, madame. Wait. Please. I know just what you mean, madame, and yet, you see, some of our customers like it for the very thing you object to. Now, there's no denying we all have a weakness for candy. And when I say a weakness, I don't mean to say anything against candy. I only mean we're inclined to overdo it a little.
That's true, I suppose.
Now, for instance, madame, have you any idea how many pieces of candy you eat a day?
Well, no, I never gave it a thought, but I am taking on weight.
That's just it. We pick up a piece of candy absent-mindedly, and then we take another piece, and before we realize it, we've gained a pound or two.
Don't I know it?
Now, you see, this little box makes you candy conscious. That's what Matashek and Company designed it for. Every time you open it, this little song is a message to you, see? Too much candy, now be careful.
Well, how much is it?
55, reduced from $6.95. It's a real bargain.
I'll take it. You can wrap it up while I look at these purses.
Well, Mr. Matashek?
What's your name, young lady?
Smith. Karen Smith.
Miss Smith, you may report for work tomorrow morning.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Martin here will show you the ropes.
Yes, of course.
Or perhaps you can show him.
Morning, Martin. Hello, Peters.
Hello.
Morning, Mr. Harvey. Oh, say, Martin, can you come to the house tonight?
No. I'm sorry, Peters. I have a big dinner date tonight.
Oh, with the boss again?
No. He doesn't invite me anymore. Say, how do you figure him out?
Well, I give up. It's certainly difficult to get along with him these days.
He hardly talks to me anymore.
You know what I think? I think he's having trouble with his wife.
Who is? Matashek?
I wasn't talking to you, Harvey.
You said Matashek was having trouble with his wife.
I didn't say that at all. I only said that...
Never mind, Peters. Go on. Harvey, you've got work to do, haven't you?
Sure. We all have.
I don't like that fellow.
Say, we better get this counter dusted before Matashek gets here.
I'll do it, Martin.
No, we'll both do it. Say, Peters?
Hmm?
You mind if I ask you a personal question?
No, go ahead.
Now, this is very confidential. Peters, suppose a fellow like me wants to get married.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Who's the girl?
Now listen, I only said suppose.
Oh, huh.
Now look, how much does it cost you to live? Just you and Mrs. Peters, leaving out the children.
Huh, well, why fool yourself?
Well, let's say temporarily. How much does it cost?
It can be done, and very nicely. Naturally, you can't be extravagant.
Hmm.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Mrs. Smith.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh, Miss Smith?
Yes, Mr. Martin?
I noticed you wore a yellow blouse with light green dots yesterday.
As usual, you're mistaken, Mr. Martin. It was a green blouse with light yellow dots, and everyone else thought it was very becoming.
Now, listen.
And I don't remember that I ever remarked about your neckties. And believe me, Mr. Martin, if you think I couldn't say anything about them, just ask Mr. Harvey. So please leave my blouse alone. It's none of your business.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Matashek seems to think it is my business.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm working under you. Well, from now on, Mr. Merton, I'll telephone you every morning and describe just what I'm going to wear. And before I select my next season's wardrobe, my dressmaker will submit samples to you. Oh, imagine you dictating what I should wear.
Now you get this straight. I don't care what you wear. If you want to look like a pony in a circus, all right. But I have troubles of my own without your blouse coming between Mr. Matashek and me.
Look, I sold as much goods yesterday as anybody in the place. $95 isn't bad for a rainy Friday 3 weeks before Christmas. Did you tell that to Mr. Matashek?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said tell her not to come in that blouse anymore.
Tell him I won't.
I will. What was I saying, Peters?
About your girl. Who is she, Martin?
Oh yeah. Remember that girl I was corresponding with?
Oh, yes, about the cultural subjects.
Yeah, well, after a while we came to the subject of love. Naturally, on a very cultural level.
What else can you do in a letter? Huh.
You know, Peters, she's the most wonderful girl in the world.
Is she pretty?
She has such ideals, Peters. She's so far above the girls you meet today that there's simply no comparison.
I see. She's not pretty.
What's the difference? As a matter of fact, I don't know whether she is or not. You see, I haven't met her yet.
You haven't?
No, I kept on postponing it. I'm scared, Peters. See, this girl thinks I'm the most wonderful person in the world, and after all, there's a chance she might be disappointed.
Yes, there's a chance. On the other hand, you might be disappointed too.
Oh no, I won't. I'm as sure of it as I am my own name. Peters, I'm meeting her tonight for dinner
Where?
in a restaurant on 8th Street.
Ah, and I suppose you're going to wear a red carnation, huh?
Yes, I am. And she's going to have one as a bookmark in a copy of Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. I haven't slept for days.
What's her name?
I don't even know that. I just call her Dear Friend or Dear Box 237.
Oh, Dear Box 237, Oh, well, I'm sure she'll be beautiful.
I think we might be having an internet problem here. If everybody can stand by. Jamie, are you there? Okay, this is a brief pause for technical difficulties. Jamie's been having some iffy internet today, so we may need him to re-sign in again. His computer froze. Yep, okay. This is the way of the world of virtual theater these days. All right, we're going to just hold out for 1 minute here. Thank you all for your patience. It's only going to take a second, and then we're just going to pick up right where we left off. Jamie, you're back. All right, take it away, sir.
Hello?
I think they left again.
Uh-oh. Jamie, are you there?
No, he's just muted because he rejoined with a lot of people.
Oh, got it. All right. We're working our way through it. Yeah, Casey, a cue would be great. Let's just make sure we can hear him first. Jamie, are you with us? Thank you all for your patience. Moments like these are
back. I'm so sorry.
There we go. We got him. No worries, Jamie. All righty. Go ahead and pick it up. Casey, yes. Go ahead and cue him in, sir. Thank you.
Oh, Dear Box 237, Oh, I'm sure she'll be beautiful.
Well, not too beautiful. What chance would there be for a fellow like me?
What do you want, a homely girl?
No. Knock on wood for just a lovely, average girl. That's all I want.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mr.
Just wanted to tell you our window looks terrible. There isn't a store on the street that doesn't look better. It's a wonder that we're getting any customers. Everybody will have to stay the night to redecorate.
Stay? Tonight of all nights.
Well, there goes your date with box 237.
Yep. Hand me those belts, Joey, will you? Belong up here on the shelf.
Okay. Say, Mr. Martin, do you have to work tonight? Do I have to work tonight? After all, I'm just a child.
Oh, no, you don't have to stay tonight.
No kidding.
I'll straighten it out with Mr. Mashek.
Oh, gee, thanks.
May I help you, Mr. Martin?
No, thank you, Miss Smith.
It's no trouble at all. I'd like to. Regardless of what I think of you personally, I believe that anybody who works with you and doesn't get a great deal out of it is just dumb.
Just what do you mean? What do you think of me personally?
Well, since you asked, I'd say no matter what can be said against you, I think you're a gentleman.
Well, I try to be.
Mr. Martin, you don't realize what it means to be a working girl, what a girl has to go through in some shops. Well, for instance, when I worked at Booten Brothers and Sons, well, the Sons were all right, but the Brothers... And that's why I like it here. You see, when you say, Miss Smith, let's go in the stockroom and put some belts on the shelf, you really want to put some belts on the shelf, and that's my idea of a gentleman.
Well, I just don't believe in mixing belts with pleasure. You know, this is the first time you've shown a little sense. Maybe there's hope for you after all.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Oh, I almost forgot. Would it be possible... Mr. Martin, do you think you could spare me tonight? Then Mr. Matashek would let me off.
Oh, so that's why I'm a gentleman. That's why you learned so much from me all of a sudden, hmm?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
You just want to get her off early, huh?
I have to, Mr. Martin.
Well, you're out of luck. What a cheap trick that was. And I nearly fell for it, too.
Mr. Martin, I have to get off tonight. It's terribly important.
For 6 months, you've done everything you could to antagonize me. And now you have the nerve?
Well, you haven't been very nice to me. But let me tell you something. Any day now, I may be in a position where I won't have to work anymore. And Mr. Martin, then I'll tell you what I really think of you. Mr. Martin, I don't like you.
Karen, what's the matter?
Oh, he won't let me off. And I've got to get away early tonight. I've just got to. I have a date. It's the most important thing that ever happened to me in all my life.
I know. The boy you told me about. What was his name?
That's what makes it so awful. I don't even know his name. I just call him Box 237.
Ladies and gentlemen, Act 2 of The Shop Around the Corner. It's later, this same day. Mr. Muttershock's temperature has risen with each passing hour. For 6 of his employees have asked the evening off. Now Martin is the unlucky 7th, and Mr. Muttershock hits the boiling point.
Do you mean that you want the evening off too, Martin?
Well, yes, Mr. Mashek.
What is this? Does everybody want to leave? Once a year I ask you to stay here.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Mashek. If I'd only known yesterday, I could have...
I see. You want a special invitation. Next time I'll send you an engraved announcement.
Mr. Mashek, this is the first time in years I've asked for a favor. I think you're being unjust.
I'm being unjust? Once a year I ask 7 ladies and gentlemen, 7, mind you, when next door a shop twice as big as mine employs only 4 and... Good afternoon, madam. Is there anything I can show you?
Have you any traveling bags for men? Oh, with a zipper.
Oh, yes, madam, yes. We have every type of traveling bag with a zipper.
Thank you so much. I'm just doing a little window shopping for my husband. He'll be here tomorrow.
I'd be delighted to serve your husband.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
7 ladies and gentlemen, I ask one day in a year to be so kind as to redecorate a window, and you have the nerve, Mr. Martin, the oldest employee in the place who should set an example.
Mr. Matushek, you spoke to me like this yesterday. What did I do? The whole week you've treated me like this, without any reason at all.
Without any reason? Maybe I have more reason than you think.
Well, it's obvious you're not satisfied with me.
You can draw your own conclusion.
In that case, there's only one thing to do. Maybe we'd better call it a day.
Maybe we'd better. Miss Baker will see that you get your check.
Thank you.
Mr. Matashak, there's someone on your private phone.
I'll take it in my office. Hello?
Mr. Matashak,
Yes?
this is the Kane Detective Agency. We have the information about your wife.
Oh, well, don't tell me on the phone. Come over to my shop, please.
What time, Mr. Matashak?
Oh, well, come now, please. I'll be waiting. Mr. Peters,
Yes, Mr. Matashak.
tell everyone they may go home. We'll do the windows tomorrow. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
Well, it's true about my wife?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Matashak. Now, here we have the complete record from our operatives, two of the most reliable men.
Go on.
Reports on Mrs. Emma Matashak, December 6th, and at 8:45. She walked 2 blocks up to 10th Street. There, Mrs. Matashak was joined by a young man.
A young man.
Yes, your suspicions were correct, Mr. Matashak. The name was one of your own employees.
I know my house. He's been working for me for almost 10 years.
10 years? That's funny. The report only says 4.
Martin has been here 10 years in January.
Martin? But the young man your wife met is named Harvey.
What?
Francis W. Harvey, 464 Hill Street.
Oh, then I see. Let me have that report, please.
Yes, sir.
22 years we've been married. 22 years. I was proud of my wife. Well, old with me. If you'll send me your bill, I'll take care of it immediately.
Yes, Mr. Matashak. Good night.
Good night.
Is this the restaurant where you were going to meet her?
Uh-oh, technical difficulties again. Jamie? Looks like he's coming back. This is what live theater is all about, folks. So we're just gonna roll with this again. We'll have him back in just a second. There we go. It is. It's a virtual intermission. Absolutely. All right, Jamie, you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry.
You're no worries at all. All right, off we go.
Is this the restaurant where you were going to meet her?
Yes, go ahead, Peters. Go on in.
Well, why don't you go on in? I really think you should keep your date.
No, I haven't got the heart. Not after what happened today. I was gonna get married. Now I don't even have a job. Peters, do me a favor and deliver my note, please.
All right.
And look, Peters. I don't want to know what she looks like. If she's homely, I've got enough bad news for one day. If she's lovely, it'll make it so much more difficult, so don't tell me.
No, I won't. Now, what was the name of that book again?
Anna Karenina, and Red Carnation as a bookmark.
Well, wait. Maybe I'd better look in the window first. You stand over that way, out of sight.
Well, do you see her?
No, not yet. Oh, say, there's a beautiful girl.
Really?
Very beautiful. But no book.
Oh.
There's another girl. Wait a minute. I think I see the book. Right here under the window. Yes. Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. And a carnation.
Go on, go on.
I can't see her face. She's sitting behind the rack. Wait, there's a cup of coffee on the table. She's taking a piece of cake. Martin, she's dunking.
Well, why shouldn't she?
All right. She's leaning forward now. Martin, Oh,
Can you see her?
yes, I see her.
Is she pretty?
Very pretty.
Oh, she is?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah?
I'd say she has a little coloring of Karen.
Karen?
Mm-hmm.
You mean Karen Smith? Miss Smith in the store?
Now, Martin, you will have to admit that Karen is a good-looking girl, and personally, I've always found her a very likable girl.
Oh, this is a fine time to be talking about Miss Smith.
Well, if you don't like Miss Smith, I can tell you right now, you're not going to like this girl either.
Well, why?
Because it is Miss Smith.
No, it can't be. No, Peters.
Well, look for yourself.
Miss Smith. Why? This is horrible. Here, give me that note.
What are you going to do? Let the poor girl wait in there?
Why shouldn't Miss Smith wait? For 6 months, she's fought with me every day.
But still, she wrote those letters.
Well, that's my misfortune.
Well, I'm going back to the shop. I've got some things to do. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, Peters.
Excuse me, miss, can I take this chair?
Oh, no, don't, please. I'm expecting somebody, waiter. He'll be here any minute.
Okay. Red carnation, huh?
Yes.
2 nights ago, we had a case with roses. Turned out very nice, very nice. But once, about 3 months ago, we had a sad case with gardenias. She waited all night and no one came.
Oh, really? Must have felt terrible.
Well, that's life, you know. You have to expect things like that.
Yeah, of course you. Oh, waiter, isn't your clock a little fast? My watch says only 8:27.
Listen, you've got nothing to worry about. A pretty girl like you, if he doesn't come, I'll put on a carnation myself.
Oh, hello, Miss Smith.
Huh? Oh, good evening, Mr. Martin.
Quite a coincidence. I had an appointment here. You haven't seen Mr. Peters by any chance, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, guess I'll wait. Do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, yes, I do mind.
Well, what's the matter?
Please, Mr. Martin, will you go to some other table? I have an appointment, too.
Oh, really? Well, who are you meeting?
Now, please don't be sarcastic. I realize that you've had a bad day, Mr. Martin, and you probably feel very bitter.
Bitter? By leaving Matashek and Company? Listen, I gotta have another job like that.
Oh, well, in that case, there's no use wasting sympathy on you. Good night, Mr. Martin.
Listen, you don't have to feel sorry for me.
Mr. Martin, I said good night, please.
Well, what are you so nervous about?
I'm not nervous. Do I look nervous?
I should say you do.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, I see you're reading Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, huh?
Yes, anything against it?
Oh, no. I never expected to meet you in a cafe with Tolstoy. I didn't know you went for high literature.
There are a lot of things you don't know about me, Mr. Martin.
Yes, well, there are a lot of things you don't know about me, Miss Smith. You know, people seldom go to the trouble of scratching the surface of things to find the inward truth.
Oh, please, Mr. Martin, I told you I was expecting somebody.
Well, that's all right. As soon as he comes, I'll leave.
Look, Mr. Martin, I'd better warn you. This person is jealous.
Oh?
Very jealous. Yes, and if you insist on staying here, I will not be responsible for anything that may happen. I hope you understand what I mean.
Sure. Listen, just in case your party doesn't show up, well, if you should stand you up or something.
Oh, don't worry about that. This party will show up.
Ah, well, so he came, huh? Will you have a menu, sir?
Oh, no.
I told her not to worry.
But,
Pretty girl like her?
oh, waiter, this is not the gentleman I was expecting.
Oh, no?
No, and I don't want him sitting here at all. Will you please ask him to take some other table?
What's the idea, mister?
All right. Is that table taken?
No.
Yeah, well, I'll sit over here. Cup of coffee, please?
I'm sorry, miss.
Oh, it's all right, just as long as he doesn't sit at my table.
And I'll keep an eye out for that carnation.
Thank you. What are you trying to do? Ruin my evening? What have I ever done to you? Why do you hate me so?
I don't hate you.
Oh, I suppose you love me.
No, why should I? What have you ever done to make me love you?
I don't want you to love me.
Well, I don't. Let me tell you something, Miss Smith. You may have beautiful thoughts, but you certainly hide them. So as far as your actions are concerned, you're cold and snippy, like an old maid. And you should have an awful tough time making any man fall in love with you.
Mr. Martin, you're getting funnier every minute. I could show you a few letters that might open your eyes. No, maybe not. No, you probably wouldn't understand what's in them. They're written by a type of man so far above you that it's ridiculous. I have to laugh when I think of you calling me an old maid. You little insignificant clerk.
All right, that does it. Goodbye, Anna Karenina.
Goodbye.
Martin, wait! Martin!
Peters? What's the matter? What's wrong?
I just went to the shop. They took Mr. Mashik away in the ambulance.
What?
He had a heart attack.
Mr. Mashik? Are you all right?
I think I will be. Sit down, Martin, and I want to thank you for coming.
Oh no, as soon as I heard.
Martin, do you remember when you were at my house for dinner the last time? I told you if things go well, I might take it easier, and maybe by Christmas make you manager of the shop. Well, now I have to take it easier. Would you care to work for me again after...
Mr. Mashik, don't even think about it. That's all over.
Is it possible that I ever distrusted you, Martin? I hated you. I couldn't stand your presence anymore. That's how far jealousy can drive a man.
Jealousy? I don't know what you mean.
When I first got that anonymous letter, I laughed at it. My wife having a secret rendezvous with one of my employees. But you can't throw a letter away like that. It stays with you, every word.
But how could you suspect me?
I know now that it was Harvey, but you see, you were the only one who came from the shop and came to my home. You sent flowers to my wife.
Well, I was only doing it to...
You don't have to tell me, but if this poison gets into your mind, please try to understand.
Sure, I understand.
Martin, here are the keys to Matichak and Company.
Thank you. What'll I do about Harvey?
Harvey? I want him very quietly dismissed.
Quietly dismissed. Yes, sir. I'll take care of it, Mr. Matichak.
What do you mean I'm fired?
Do you hear me? Get out.
Hey, don't push. Don't push.
Go on, beat it. Well, Miss Smith, I suppose you're kind of surprised to see me back, huh?
Well, naturally, I'm glad you have your job again. Congratulations.
Miss Baker tells me you weren't feeling well this morning.
That's all right, thank you.
You look worn out. Anything go wrong last night?
I tell you, I'm all right. Where's Mr. Matashek? I want to speak with him.
Well, he's right here. I'm Mr. Matashek.
Will you please stop it? My nerves are at a breaking point.
Martin, I didn't have any chance to say it before. Congratulations.
For what, Mr. Peters?
Well, don't you know? Martin's the manager.
The manager.
Miss Smith?
She fainted.
Peters, get some water. Quick.
Water.
Hurry it up. Karen, are you all right? Oh, darling, look at me. Karen, darling. Oh, you poor kid. Karen.
Oh, what happened?
Why? Nothing much. Miss Smith, you just fainted.
We pause now for station identification. This is Columbia Broadcasting System. Mr. DeMille presents Act 3 of The Shop Around the Corner. Karen Smith has had no further letters from her unknown admirer. Box 237. This misfortune, combined with Martin's appointment as manager, has proved too much for her, so she's taken to the bed with a bad case of nerves. Now she has a visitor, none other than Mr. Martin Alice. Box 237.
Good evening, Mrs. Smith.
Good evening.
Karen, dear.
Yes, Grandma?
Look, darling, I sent down to the post office.
Oh, Grandma, tell me, was there a letter?
Here, darling, it's a fat one, too.
Oh! Mr. Martin, it was kind of you to drop in, but I don't want to spoil your evening.
Oh, no. I have lots of time. Go ahead and read your letter.
If you don't mind.
Certainly not.
Oh, I forgot to take care of the messenger boy. Will you excuse me, Mr. Martin?
Certainly. Good news?
Oh, very good news, Mr. Martin. I'm sure I'll be back to the shop tomorrow, and I can promise you that I'll sell more goods than I ever sold before. You see, this gentleman came to the cafe, looked in the window, saw us together, and he misunderstood.
You mean he thought you and I were friends?
He must have. Listen to this. Tell me and be frank. Who is that very attractive young man? He's just the type women fall for. Oh, isn't that marvelous? We're still having some difficulty selling those Ochi Charnier boxes, aren't we?
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Mr. Martin, consider one box definitely sold. I just got an inspiration. I'm going to give it to my friend for Christmas.
Oh, no, don't do that.
What?
You're taking an awful chance. Or look, why don't you give him a wallet? I know he'd be crazy about it. We have those new imported pigskins.
No, just the same. He's going to get the cigarette box.
Oh.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Matashek.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, officer.
I haven't seen you for quite a while, Mr. Matashek.
Yes, I'm supposed to be pretty sick, but it's Christmas Eve and I just couldn't stand it any longer. I'm going in and helping.
Well, take it easy, Mr. Matashek, and Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friends, we've just had our biggest day since 1929. You should be very proud, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. When I was at the hospital, I read your little note over and over. I'm glad to know you missed me and hoped I would come back home again. You're right, this is my home, and only too seldom one realizes that the people he works with are his real friends. Well, there's no Christmas without a bonus, right? Miss Baker will pass out your checks, and then I want you all to go home and have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Going home, Karen?
No, I've still got to wrap this wallet.
Well, Merry Christmas, Karen, and I hope everything turns out just as you wanted.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Mr. Peters.
Merry Christmas, Martin.
Merry Christmas to you, Peters. Well, Miss Smith, we're just about ready to close.
I'm sorry, I'll be through here in a second.
Oh, that's all right. There's no hurry. Oh, present for somebody?
Yes, I followed your advice after all. It's the wallet.
Oh, fine. Want to see something? Here, look at this. I bought it for a very special friend.
Oh, a locket. It's beautiful. I didn't know you had a girlfriend.
I guess you think it's pretty funny that a girl would like somebody like me.
Oh, now, Mr. Martin, don't let's start this all over again. It's Christmas, and I'd like to be friends with you. And besides, you're wrong. Do you mind if I tell you something?
Oh, no, not at all.
Well, when I started to work here, something very strange happened to me. I got psychologically mixed up.
Oh, you don't say.
I found myself looking at you again and again. I just couldn't take my eyes off of you.
Oh, really?
Yes, and all the time I was saying to myself, Karen Smith, what's the matter with you? This Martin's not a particularly attractive man.
Oh.
I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no. No, not at all.
And now comes the paradox. I caught myself falling for you.
Fall? Well, I can't believe that.
Well, you see, I was a very different girl then. I was very naive. Well, that's all forgotten now. Now you go to your girlfriend and... By the way, is it serious?
Oh, yes, very.
We might both be engaged Monday morning.
Yes, I think we will.
I don't want you to misunderstand. In my case, I say it just might happen.
Well, as a matter of fact, I can tell you it will happen.
How do you know?
Well, now, I might as well tell you, I guess. He came to see me,
Who?
your fiance.
What?
He came last night. You shouldn't have told him who I am. I spent a very uncomfortable hour. You see, he didn't believe it when you wrote him that I meant nothing to you.
I don't understand. But coming to see you, it doesn't sound like him at all.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. I straightened everything out. In a little while, you'll be Mrs. Popkin.
Mrs. Popkin?
Yes, that's his name, isn't it? That's what he told me.
Huh? Oh, yes. Popkin, that's right. Popkin?
Yes, he's a nice fellow. I congratulate you.
Well, thank you. I, I think he's a very attractive man, don't you?
Yes, for his type, I would say yes.
Would you really class him as a definite type?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you don't try to change him. You don't dare put him on a diet.
Oh, uh, you would call him fat?
No, I wouldn't. But well, that's a matter of opinion. Personally, I think a little stomach of his gives a nice homely quality. And that's what you want in a husband, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that's what I want, yes.
Yeah, and I thought so. And you're right, too. If I were a girl, I had to choose between a young, good for nothing with lots of hair, fine, solid, mature citizen. I think I picked Matthias Popkin every time.
Mati, but do you think he has a fine mind? Oh, didn't he just impress you as being very witty?
Well, he struck me as somewhat depressed, but it's a bit unfair to judge a man when he's out of a job.
Out of a job? Why, he never told me.
He never told you? Well, that shows how sensitive he is. But you've nothing to worry about. At least he feels you both can live very nicely on your salary.
Did you tell him how much I make?
Well, he's your fiance, and he asked me.
Oh,
And let me tell you something else. Mentioning that bonus didn't do you any harm either.
I built up such an illusion about him. I thought he was perfect.
And I had to be the one to destroy it.
Well, that's all right. I really ought to thank you.
Karen, If I'd known in the beginning how you really felt about me, things would have been different. We wouldn't have been fighting all this time.
I think we'd better say goodnight. You have an engagement, and so do I, and we shouldn't be late. Good night.
No, wait a minute, wait. You know what I wish would happen? When your bell rings at 8:30 tonight, you open the door. Instead of Popkin, I come in.
Oh, please. You're only making this more difficult.
Then I'd say to you, Karen, darling.
Oh, please don't.
Dearest sweetheart Karen, I can't stand it any longer. Please get your key, open box 237. Take me out of my envelope and please kiss me.
No, Mr. Martin, stop. Oh, what? What did you say? Oh!
Dear friend, dear box 237.
Oh. You are dear friend.
Yes. Are you disappointed?
You wrote all those wonderful letters?
Uh-huh.
You like me?
Karen, I love you.
Oh, darling, isn't it a wonderful, wonderful Christmas?
This is Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well done, folks. Very nice. Thank you all again.
Bravo, bravo.